three. All right,
All right, Kev.
All right, Kevin.
guys, how you doing?
All good.
Good. How are
Yeah,
you?
yeah. Where are you in Manchester?
Yeah.
The
Good old.
happiest place on earth.
the
Yeah.
sunniest place on earth.
Yeah. The sunniest, the warmest,
All
the
right.
happiest.
Well, we're gonna get to a little chat. We're gonna talk about some stuff. We're gonna work through some stuff. But I want to just read some adverts from the sponsors. All right. Ben, you are French, so you'll be familiar with the saying.
Oui,
Bon vivre.
oui.
Bon vivre. For a drink that accompanies a good time. Live a good life. Bon vivre. All right. And then we're brought to you by here today Norwegian Cruise Lines.
Yeah, they're
If you
good.
love the cruise and you like a breeze and the water is fresh, Norwegian Cruise Lines. Book now.
Making the ice.
All right. Well, don't book now because it's probably not the best time to do it, but maybe in the future. All right, guys, here we go. Let's start the show. So, what's been going on? What time is it where you are? What's been going on today? Give me the lowdown.
It's 10 in the evening,
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday. Just a
Great.
normal week in Manchester, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's lockdown. Apparently, we've been the most restricted city in the world
since March or something. Manchester has. We've been in lockdown since March.
Is that because you guys are handling it exceptionally worse?
Like there's like tiers in the UK.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works where you are.
Well, we're in the tier.
Pardon?
We're in the tier.
Yeah, we're in tier 3 in Manchester at the moment.
Yeah, I think we're in the equivalent. Everything's shut down here.
Yeah.
But you guys working?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've actually I started since I moved to Manchester. I got a job. I work for Royal Mail.
The Royal Highnesses.
The privatized Royal Mail.
Her Majesty's Post. Well, that's fantastic, you guys. You know, you're staying healthy. You haven't got the COVID, the Rona.
The Rona.
But you know, you sent me this this new track, and I was very excited because I'd already heard clips of it when we had talked a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And Hard Machine, which I love that right away because it's like machines are very hard in nature. I you know, I don't want to get too cerebral here, but what do you think that title is alluding to? Or what was it meaning for you?
I reckon it's using more like drum machine that made me think of it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, it's got that really tough sound. Like there's no softness to it when the drum machine is not goes hard all the time. It never stops. So that's what made me think of Hard Machine straight away. This drum machine. We used a old 70s Roland drum machine. I think it's before like 808 and all that. It's like that was like a 77 series or something.
Yeah, I think it was a Rhythm 70.
I think it's the drum machine they use
in Iggy Pop.
with Iggy Pop on a night clubbing.
Oh.
And what other song on all the album? The Idiot, I think. They used that drum machine when he made the album with David Bowie and all that.
Isn't that funny how a single instrument can really change the tone or define it? And then when it's, you know, conceived, you're kind of like it's almost a new relationship. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the drum machine territory is newer for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the thing is that years ago, I think when I must have been around when we toured with you, with the Pledge.
Who?
The Pledge.
Yeah.
I was someone lended me some drum machines, and I just recorded loads of bits and played with it, but just by itself, thinking I'll be using it later.
Mm-hmm.
And so I already used it ages ago, but I've been wanting to use those tracks I recorded, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it was just I really wanted to write them songs without the guitar,
Mm-hmm.
write them with like the beats, really. And
So you want to be like a bit more groove based music,
wanted to do
more
something
rhythmic.
different. Wanted to do something completely different.
Yes, get out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, maybe I was a bit bored with the normal setup we had. It was really like guitar driven, so I wanted to break that up. But I was waiting for the right moment, and because there was no one around for ages since the lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Fucking perfect."
Yeah. And
Go
then,
for it.
Carlin, where did you come in on this new stuff?
I've done some vocals. I sung for one of the songs. I sing a bit in French.
Yeah.
I,
Are you fluent in French?
Definitely not.
But you got some.
No, not at all. I've like some bare minimum skills from school. Petit pois. Is that Tais? I don't
perfect.
know.
So,
Petit
but this boy over here,
Yeah, he
I
speaks
mean,
the right French. So
yeah,
So-
it's it.
you must pick it up a little bit, maybe when he's on the phone with family or friends.
yeah, I can understand it,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't speak it. But I've never really tried because he can do it for me because he's really good at it, so it's fine.
I feel like that's a language that is used in music quite a bit for Western music, but also it's weird with English because like we have Australian English, we have American English, we have UK English,
Yeah.
New Zealand, and all that, and nobody cares about Canada. So what I'm saying is that with French, there's almost one mode that all of us non-French speaking people think in. And that's like, ooh, French is like very intelligent and refined. Whereas English, English,
Yeah.
if you're from Manchester, people are like, they sound kind of poor. But if you're like, if you're from London, they think you're fancy.
Yeah, exactly. I think it sounds like everything. It sounds like off a food menu. I reckon.
Yeah.
French. I reckon you say anything in French, it sounds delicious.
Bon vive.
Yeah, sounds great. Exactly.
Yeah, well, you go.
Yeah, so I did some vocals for it, and did I do any percussion?
She's done vocals on a lot of them, I think.
And did I do any?
Like 3 of them.
And then
I made her do a really unusual thing. I made her do sounds.
Doing some synth, right?
Yeah, I've done some synth, I'm sure, but I think Ben did a lot of the synth.
I did a
well.
lot of the synth.
Yeah.
This time we changed a lot. Now we got because we had loads of. As soon as the lockdown started, loads of people pretty much spread out, left. Slow-fi guitarist just went back to Paris to do his dad boulangerie.
So sounds fancy.
Luigi went back to Italy.
Went back to Italy. And Eric is in Berlin at the moment. So we really had no one around us at the time. But Daniel made himself available, and I've been wanting to do stuff with him. So I put him on the guitar pretty much.
Yeah. And he's a great guitar player.
I didn't do any I did a bit of guitar, but like not the main thing. Or I've guided Daniel on what to do. Do Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you so
But
you,
I haven't done the guitar at all.
you're
I'm
producing in
concentrating
a
on the
way.
singing and
Synth.
the synth,
Mhm.
and obviously the drum machine. And I'll play a bit of drum in it,
Yeah,
like real drums on it.
real drums.
Yeah,
The
really.
ones that no, even the we play. I love this.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's the
That's
new
a-
band member.
Drum
Oh,
pad.
man. That's 6 beautiful squares I'd love to hit.
Yeah, it's actually really fun. And that's what we took around touring with us when we went around Asia. And we had like drum pad, like proper drum kit set up on it, and it sounded amazing. So it sounds really good. Even to do it live, it's brilliant.
I
It's really
think
good.
I think that's definitely refreshing in terms of what would be perceived as a classic guitar rock lineup.
Yeah.
Stretches out a bit, uses some different technology. We all know there's a lot of bands out there with 1 to 4 or 5 guitar players, and it's great. It's great no matter how many guitars there is. But when you're putting new stuff into something that you didn't have it before. For instance, you've released 2 albums prior.
Yeah.
The latest one was All You Need Is Love and Fucking Peace.
No, the latest one was Playing Eclipse.
Oh, that's right. See?
We've had a
And
we've
we
had
had one before
a
as well.
long time first one in 2015,
And we had one.
and then one in 2018 and one in 2019. So
Yeah,
3.
we've had
So,
3 now.
so you're coming up on your 4th.
Well, this is an EP.
This is gonna be an EP.
Yeah,
There's
but
only
is this is part of a group of songs that will
4
eventually.
tracks. It's going to be 4 tracks. We're going to
Mhm.
put it on vinyl.
Take
Yeah.
it as it's like this album is like a bunch of stuff I've been wanting to do for ages, but didn't work in the context of doing it with everyone with the same setup, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like 2 to 3 guitars,
Mhm.
bass, drum, and synth, and percussions. This time I just went completely different.
Mhm.
Just going with the sounds really first, beats and drum machines. I've got, like I said, I've got real drums, and it's really things like even making a song in French is something I wanted to do ages ago.
So you never wrote in French before?
When I was younger,
Yeah.
but I was very influenced by like when I was younger, I really liked more uh French music.
Mhm.
As a French speaker, I had a hard time just gelling. I don't know. I stopped myself really from being too involved in the English music. As soon as I learned English, I
Mhm.
got more involved with English music. But before that, I was very, I don't know, I was very dedicated to like French classic, like Alain Souchon, really writers sort of probably not even famous, not even known in the English world, really.
No.
But when did you fall into a relationship with music?
Really young, really like pop shit music from everywhere, really.
But like, so you grew up in what part of France?
Paris, really the
Okay.
capital. So we had influence from everywhere. Like in Paris, you got English pubs. So music, even in France, music, you get it from everywhere. So I grew up with the Beach Boys and all that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But also with like Mariah Carey and Spice Girls and all that shit. We heard everything, boy bands and all that shit. You know what I mean?
I
But we had our French version as well. We had like French culture in Sims in music always try to sort of mimic other countries and do it their own way, if you know what I mean.
yeah. Well, I don't think
Bit
there's
of
anything wrong
everything,
with
man.
that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think music is an international dialogue that's continuous, and I really think a lot of people kind of forget that, where, you know, it depends on what you like. It almost frames your point of view with music. But what is really cool is when people grow up in different places, come to a certain destination, and start writing or composing. So, like, for you to be from Paris, finding things that interested you or didn't interest you, and then you have your pathway, and now you know you're somebody that's making records. You're somebody that, you know, is composing and has been touring and putting in the work. um well, what would you say though was like the initial fire though, or maybe the first artist that you really fell in love with and still love today? Because we can all have our embarrassing moments with Michael Jackson, or, you know.
I definitely liked Michael Jackson as a kid, definitely.
Yeah, me too. I was a huge fan. I got
Yeah,
the
it's
the
one of
how
my
to
favorite
dance to Thriller. I was trying to learn the
bands.
choreography.
Definitely.
I
Uh,
can't dance though, so my pop star career is over.
this same, same. I can't. Wouldn't be able to remember choreography really. I
Yeah.
can't remember. Fucking what?
Well, I
Fucking.
mean, what would you say was the definitive? Because I think for a lot of people, they have maybe like two or, you know, one or three acts, or, you know, musicians. For you
Really,
both.
I'll be cliche. Look, one of the big ones that really got me would have been first, probably into making music. Probably would have been the Rolling Stones, really.
Yeah,
And
and we're
then I dug a bit deeper, and then you go to the Velvet Underground, and um, then the punk era, and then the 90s Britpop as well, with Blur and Oasis. With see, our generation is there's so much you can take, and I think I took it all.
yeah. Well,
This
when
probably see, sorry, in one of the last song, um, in one of the song we got Carling to do something like Texas. You know the Scottish band.
yeah,
Yeah, there's influence from Texas. I don't know if you heard it, but it's in there.
it's all in there. Is it now? Now you see now, but we're pulling from the eclectic pool though, because we had the time to find all the stuff. But what for Ben? What do you think was the first act? There was the Stones was the one that really hit you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
What era?
the like Rock and Roll Circus and all that, like really early Rolling Stones, really.
Like out
Not
of our head?
cover Rolling Stones, but like Sympathy for the Devil and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
because it's
lot
like
of
a different
people's favorite
part,
era.
really.
Let It Bleed album. That's a good
Yeah, Let It
Yeah.
Bleed. Yeah,
one.
I mean, yeah, they were a fun band.
The you know they had an output, you know, from like 64 to like I would say 72 that was like very, very good. I mean, it changes, and you know, they like I like anyone though. They're gonna have their ups and downs with songwriting, but for me,
I
yeah, I
reckon,
mean, it's out of our heads, and
I reckon with the Rolling Stones, even if their songs, like some of their songs aren't even that good, they're always cool.
yeah, they're the rock and roll band. Would you say
They're
that?
always cool, no matter what. Which is, I
And
think
what
that's
and
good.
Carly, what would be something that enticed you into playing music, or something you found or you fell in love with at an early age?
um, again, I've been brought up with all music, uh, but I suppose probably for me, when I first heard Led Zeppelin, when I was about 13 or something, I was quite blown away.
What
Yeah,
tune?
same.
I remember I used to hang out with some friends that were like 2 or 3 years older than me, and they were all sitting in a room, all like smoking weed, playing Led Zeppelin. I was like 13, like a young little girl, and I remember them playing it and me asking, "What is that?" And them like all laughing at me because obviously I'd never heard, but
Because they
and
were
then I'm
so
like,
onto it.
yeah. And then as soon as I heard what it was, I was like, "Oh my god, that's like the best band ever!" And went
What
and
was the song
I
that
think it
hit
was
you?
probably off. Uh, what's the second album? I don't know what it's called. Is that Led 2 or I don't know what I know the album
They've
cover.
got all the ones and twos and
The
all that.
second album, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. No, I mean I like Zeppelin. I
Is it called Led? I don't know what it's called.
yeah. I mean it's so well produced and so well put together
It's
that
like
it
a
almost
ski
sounds
band.
perfect.
Yeah, it's like a superhero on like guitar, superhero on drums, superhero.
The drummer's amazing. The
The
guitarist is
bassist
amazing. The bassist is amazing.
plays everything.
Yeah, the bassist plays everything, and the lead singer is like obviously ridiculous.
I mean, who knew that somebody with a haircut that looked like fettuccine alfredo could sing that well?
I know, it's crazy. So yeah, I think probably Led Zeppelin for me, and then just obviously getting into like I don't know, just obviously Velvet Underground and bad. Like I'm not ashamed of liking cheesy shit music as well. Like I
Yeah.
used to love Guns N' Roses and Michael Jackson and stuff when I was younger. So you know, all the kind of, and then like my mum's into loads of reggae and stuff like that. So I had that kind of side of like a reggae up like Peter Tosh and Bob Marley and all that kind of thing. So
When did you start playing instruments?
I played instruments at school. So yeah, probably at school really.
Yeah, what were you playing?
Piano,
Oh,
violin.
yeah,
Like,
that's hard.
well, pretty much every instrument that you could. We had a really good music room with a really eclectic teacher that kind of
That's really terrible.
taught us. Like, we could have our own free sessions where we could go off and take the instruments and make up our own songs and things. So we had a good music lessons.
But what point did you realize you wanted to make music or participate in making it?
I don't really. I kind of do participate in making the music in some ways. I help Ben with some of the lyrics and the writing, but I don't. Ben is the one that creates the music.
But I do always bounce off of people. I kind of like show it to them and see how they respond, and then so I always feel like I make music with everyone, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, I work the same way where it's like maybe I come up with a chord progression or, you know, some words or whatever. I bounce it off people and they come up with parts and spit it back to me. I think maybe you're a bit more fine-tuned in exactly what you want, whereas I'm a little bit more like, well, like, what do you guys think? Can we just like talk?
Ben is like that as well.
I'm a bit like that, but it's true. At the end, I'm always in each steps. I'm there, so I'm probably the one that remembers that's there to put it together, because I'm on all the spaces. But it's true. This one is a different album. It's gonna be a different 4 songs, because it's like I definitely had more input than the other album, more self-input.
Yeah.
But I did get other people involved, and that's what I want to do more. I want to get people to sing on my songs.
Yeah.
I want to break out of really the thing I've been doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that album is about. It's about breaking out on what I've been doing.
That's what I felt.
Use techniques from what I've been doing before.
That's what I felt with these new songs, and I also think it's quite brave, and it's really a good relationship with your ego. If you're in a band and maybe you're singing most of the songs, but you go, well, I want to kind of do something different, so I get somebody else to sing too, and you get other people to participate, and I think that's also refreshing for the listener as well, and as well as you, the composer and the songwriter.
Yeah, what I realized is that my voice definitely doesn't work for every type of song, so might as well use someone else's.
Isn't that funny when you see those bands where they try and have the lead person, and then it's just like, well, that other person in that band could have sang that song much better.
Yeah.
I see
you
it a lot.
need to recognize people's abilities, and I don't know where to put. I think it's better when it's like you know, like a bouquet of flowers. You know, there's different flowers to make it look nice.
Yeah,
Just the same flower, it just look monotone, and it's
yeah,
kind of like that. It's like come up with like loads of different bits from everywhere,
yeah.
and try. And as a producer, you want to put it all together and make sure it sounds good. And that's the role of a producer. And I think that's what I'm trying to be good at, or maybe that's what I'm good at. I don't know.
I think that's a fundamentally necessary idea in order to keep things engaging for yourself. I mean,
I'm
I
not,
that Stone Soup, you know that story of Stone Soup where the one guy is like, I have a stone and water, I'm gonna make soup, and then like his neighbor comes by and says, oh, I have some vegetables, can I put this in and then have some of the soup, and then another person goes, well, I have some meat, can I put this in? That stuff
yeah,
works so much beyond the confines of the music industry and collaboration. Um, and I think it's a huge blueprint for how things should be done.
Yeah, and
definitely.
during lockdown as well, obviously we couldn't really go and play with like all of our friends in London. We were in Manchester, so we sent the tracks down to say Daniel and our friend Joe,
Yeah.
and then just let them play on it, and obviously send it back to us.
So that's the way to do it
Yeah,
with
we
this
use the
shit.
technology. Hey,
That is fantastic. It's great that it sounds it's now computer stuff is sounding really, really good.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
good, isn't it? It's pretty
Yeah.
mad.
Whereas if I mean I started playing in a band eight, well, I was in a punk band that was awful. But um I started the own thing, the pleasure routine. Started that 8 years ago, and at the time I thought, well, all the really professional, like cool indie acts and classic rock people like the Stones and the Velvet Underground, they all record on tape, so I got to record on tape. And the
Yeah,
tape sounds cool. It's like awesome. It's a fun experience, but in this situation that we're in, the digital recording is fucking awesome and
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's good.
also more
I
efficient
think
and productive.
if you that's what a lot of things that slow us down is we wanted different platforms. We didn't know what platform to release in. Me personally, I'm fine to release music digital. I don't really
Mhm.
care. Can do as much as you want. There is no limit. Uh, but it is always good to have like something that you print
physical.
physical that you print it on. So that's what we always do, like limited copies of like records. Like you
Mhm.
just need to have like a few hundred. That's it. And
Yeah.
but the music online sales, I like sharing it with people. And I want to get into that direction. I definitely want to get you involved in singing on some of the tunes. Um,
Yeah, that would be
Next, I want to
cool. That
make an
would.
album that's gonna be. See if people like that. I'm definitely gonna keep going and having fun in that way. I'm very, we moved to Manchester and I'm very influenced by like New Order, Joy Division. So there's gonna be stuff that is gonna be more synthy and more electronic and more dancey. I really want to get on stage and dance and have a good time with loads of different people. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want to do more.
That
So
isn't it the best party in the world?
Yeah, like
yeah, that's
funkadelic
what
on
you
stage.
mix the two parts that are really good, right?
Yeah.
You write with loads of people from everywhere. So you can do the work at home, but with many people, so you get loads of people involved. And at the same time, when you can do a show and meet and travel around with people, you got people that can join in different parts
Yeah.
in some songs. And I think that could make things exciting. Like that's what I want to do, really.
I think that's good you brought that up because the thing that I think you, me, Carling, Daniel, Robbie, all my friends in England, all my friends in America, we kind of took for granted playing live, even if
Yeah,
it was to only 15 people. Like maybe you guys didn't, but I know I did.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
We
Yeah.
realized how much we missed it, like interacting with people and like
Yeah.
just the train, like the fun of, I don't know.
Touring is like the most fun you can have with a band, I think. It's so
Oh
much
God,
fun. When we
yeah.
toured together with you guys, that was so brilliant.
That I you know, like my future wife, whoever that is going to be, she's gonna be like, "What was the greatest time in your life?" And I'll probably have to just be like, "Well, I've had a lot of great times with you, honey, but you know, you're in the top, but it's always gonna be the England tour."
That was a good time. That was just touring with your bandmates and like with friends, and going to different cities, and
Everybody got along.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
People that never met before through the
Everyone was so
internet.
helpful with each other.
Yeah, that
Brilliant.
that situation that we had um, in the Victoria, that was a great show to end the our
That was
stint.
that was a brilliant show. That was, wasn't
Yeah.
it? It was such a good show. It was packed.
It was, yeah. So like I don't know if you guys understand how much enjoyment those shows were for a band like us who's in America, because England, yeah, you can shit on it. You can shit on England all day about whatever, this and that, history, whatever. But the fact is, England gives a shit about music live.
Yeah.
America, that doesn't happen unless it's model music. And that
Yeah.
model music band has an agent and a manager, and they advertise the holy highest fuck out of it.
Yeah.
So we don't have those spontaneous shows like that you guys do in England, where you can go to the Windmill in Brixton, or you can go to the Victoria,
Yeah.
or you can go to Scotland and play a gig in a rehearsal studio that is also packed with kids going nuts. That doesn't happen here. So
Right.
it was perspective that was really welcomed, but also like if you ever think you're missing out on touring America, I can guarantee you're not.